a FeiYen hunting original.
Welcome back, hunters. So we're continuing our progression, leveling up, trying to get our skills. We got a long way to like 32, I think it is. So I'm just here on the map, and I'm looking to open up some zones. I haven't gotten any animals in this area. Definitely want to be saving money so we can, enhance our herds. I do have enough for this one, but I don't want to spend money on it now because it only covers just 3 species. Where we have the others here that are way more, sort of bang for your buck. So I'm going to look into opening these before I do the other, little ones. I want to say thank you to players who have, commented on my recent video comparing Way of the Hunter 1 to number 2. It's a bit of an eye-opener. I think there's 2 different spectrums that I'm seeing. Those who absolutely love the game, really like the direction that's taken. And then you have the other side who completely hates it. They see no value in it. They don't see what the need was. They felt it could have been, like a DLC, or there's nothing here for them. And I think that's where the game pretty much sits. The direction that Way of the Hunter 2 has taken is either you like it or you don't. I think there is very little middle ground. So I think changing engines and philosophy, I think the game has really been put into a different direction. The more I play, the more I see the way the devs are thinking, what's maybe to come. It's all lining up with the game has taken a very much different direction. There's still some core systems in here, but for the most part, it's pretty much an overhaul. And that's either going to sit with you nicely or you won't like it. That's just what it is. But I think that these changes are necessary, as you sort of push the game forward, as you move forward. Not everyone's going to like what you do. So the devs are listening to feedback, looking to implement whatever they can, and hopefully we get a really great product in the future. The foundation is already here, so I don't see why not that wouldn't happen. But it was definitely an eye-opener to kind of see what people are thinking. Some, are thinking they won't even buy it. So again, we'll see how this, shapes up. I recently had a comment saying that they see a potential for the game being like a live service. Never thought of that. My mind never ever went there. But that's a good point. What if it does at some point? What if it does take on that kind of a business model where it is like a live service? Again, we will see. I personally don't think so, but anything can happen. So we're not hearing any animals right now. I think I heard some boars just to my right. But overall, we got nothing yet. We're going to take our time and sort of traverse. See what we can get. So if you're new to the game, I recommend that you take your time. Do not rush the game in any way possible. Take your time. Animals spook very easily. It's a very nice, slow-paced kind of game. And you really want to, soak everything in the environment. Listen out for animals. Really plan your approach. It's a very nice system. So at the beginning, you're going to have herds that are pretty terrible. Low genetics, and you really got to build those up. And you want to take your time unlocking your zones and really trying to get your herd into, striving. What that means is basically you want to take out low genetics. So we're on the prowl for any kind of low genetics in our herd, male or female. And you want to start cleaning those up. So it sounds like we got some whitetail just up ahead. Our wind is pretty decent, so we're going to take our time on approach. See if we can get some eyes on them. There's a little stream right here, so I'm thinking there's a drinking zone. Yeah, they're sitting right here. So we're just going to sit for a bit because they're pretty much alert. So whenever you encounter a herd where they have sensed you, either go prone or just don't move. Stay still. This will give it time where it will calm down and they're going to go back to their routine. So then you can sort of re-engage with them. So depending on your difficulty, this will take longer. Depending on your situation, depending on what the animals are doing. Are they in transition? Are they moving?
Before rifles, before scopes and guides, there was instinct. The spear, the bow, the chase. Hunting was survival, a bond between human and nature that could not be broken. Even today, when we step into the wild, that ancient rhythm awakens. It reminds us that the hunt is not just about the harvest. It is about being human.
The whole idea is that you don't want to alert the animals if you can avoid it. Because what happens is, as long as they get alert or alerted, they start adjusting, they start moving. So sometimes that can make your hunt a little bit more difficult. Put the animals in a very bad, place where you can't even get eyes on them or a good shot. And it really extends your stalk. Which is not a bad thing. But you definitely want to be as careful as possible so there's some kind of balance in your hunt. Yeah, so we got a young guy right up here. Yeah, so they were down by the water. Pretty much going up that hill. I can take a shot at this guy right now, but I want to see where the others are.
The wilderness is more than just a backdrop. It is alive. Every rustle in the grass, every shadow between the trees carries meaning. Out here, the hunter does not dominate. He listens. He waits. And he becomes part of the land. This is where the hunt begins.
pretty sure they're up in this brush. Yeah, so it's going to be pretty hard to get some eyes on them. Okay, so that's where they are. So that's 116 meters out. The animal's behavior is so nice. It's interesting because we saw one up on the hill. And now we got some down here, so either it's a different herd or they're pretty scattered. But I definitely want to get a shot on this guy. Yeah, so they're all in that brush. Let's see if we get lucky with a good shot here. That's a really young guy. And the rest are just sitting in the brush. Yeah, now we can get a nice view what we're dealing with. So as you can see, when we first encountered these animals, we pretty much had them on alert. And because we kind of sat back for a little bit, you can see how the hunt develops. Now we can get some eyes on them. It's not always a bad situation, that turns out. So it goes to show you don't really give up on a hunt. You really let it unfold. Yeah, so this buck is decent. Actually, this herd looks pretty good. This guy looks old. He's probably good for the taking. We can probably take a risk on him. So that's a very risky shot. One key tip is that if you're stalking animals like this, try not to advance in their direction. Try to stay on the perimeter a little bit. Move left and right if you can, so you don't really go into that spook zone, that alert zone. In some situations it kind of helps. Yeah, they're kind of running off a little. Okay, so we do have another herd. Just a bit off here. So maybe we can change tactics. So maybe we can change focus here. And that's part of the hunt, right? Sometimes it doesn't work out. You get lucky and there's like another herd just around and you can literally change focus. Because these guys are pretty much going off all the way over there, so. And so far we got one young guy over here. So they should be coming out in the open, which is perfect. Got a small window here we can take, so. Let's switch to our gun, to our rifle. I'm pretty sure I spotted an old guy in there, so we'll see how his rack look. Make a decision on that. There he is. Yeah, he looks pretty old. You can tell by the way he's walking. Yeah, we're gonna take him. So we're gonna position ourselves nicely on this side of the lake. Wind is not the greatest, so they can smell us. This is shaping up to be a really tough hunt. Nothing is really working in our favor. But let's see. Yeah, so that's a young guy we saw. Just need a decent sort of broadside shot on him.
Steady.
Yeah, we got him. Well, the patience paid off. Let's see what we got now. Pretty cool. He tried crossing this little stream here. And number one, I don't think they did that much. Yeah, so we went right through that rib. 76 meters. So we got a 29%. It was perfect. Yeah, decent rack on him. The devs are definitely working on getting these racks to be better. They're basically procedurally generated now, so there's some growing pains trying to implement that, but this rack system will be awesome when it's fully implemented. Yeah, so we'll take it. So as you guys can see there, you know, this is the reason I love Way of the Hunter, man. You can really sit and stalk animals, be patient. You know, one hunt doesn't work out, you switch to the other. It's a beautiful thing. We got some boars over here. These were recently added to the game, so pretty pumped about that. These guys are so much fun to hunt. So we definitely got to get some eyes on them here. I don't know where they are, maybe in that brush. They sounded fairly close by. We definitely got some movement here. Yeah, so we got one coming over this way. He's a decent looking guy. So he's coming directly to us. So I have to make a split decision, I think. Because he might just turn and run. Really hard to see him here. We'll take what we can get. Hopefully we get a good shot. Let's check the blood. Those kind of shots are pretty hit and miss. You gotta be really careful with that, but based on this, we definitely got a good shot. Yeah, got him. So let's track him. So we're playing on hard mode, which in Way of the Hunter 1 was called Ranger, so we're going to keep that name. So tracking gets a little bit tricky. But when you look at the blood, you want to look for the direction it's pointing you in. You go in that general direction. So this guy ran a pretty decent distance, which is usually the case with those kind of shots. It's on such an angle that you're probably getting a little bit more flesh. But let's see what we got. Even the fur on these guys looks so good. Okay, so we got a female, 35%. That's pretty good. 28 meters because they pretty much walked upon us. So I just took the first opportunity I had there because I know that they were going to spook. But as you can see here at this angle, you're not really getting much of a lung. Like, we barely got it. A little bit more to the left and this animal would have survived. But yeah, we'll take it. Definitely want to do a trophy shot. Well, that was an awesome hunt. For sure, we got a nice whitetail. Got a nice boar that pretty much sort of walked up on us. So let me know what you guys think. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.